Hey up, Rayvers. This week's review is a request. I think a couple of folk requested it on the old YouTube comments. I think Ben and Beatrix both requested it. So we're going to take a look at action-adventure romantic comedy spy movie Condorman. Yes, Condorman, starring Michael Crawford of Some Mothers Do Have 'Em fame, of course. In fact, quite a few requests for Some Mothers Do Have 'Em review as well. But sorry, no, not going to be doing that today. Don't want to trivialise things by reviewing Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, looking at a film today. Anyway, Michael Crawford plays comic book writer and cartoonist Woody Wilkins. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Raymond, if he's a cartoonist, why on earth is he jumping off the Eiffel Tower dressed as a chicken? Well, that's because he's got a comic book character called Condorman. But he wants a sense of realism in his comics.
If Condorman can't do something in real life, then I won't have him do it in one of my comic books.
So he wants to make sure that anything he writes down that Condorman can do, you can actually do. Now, the irony being, of course, that we're watching that and it's green screened and probably hanging by wires. So he isn't doing what he is actually doing. So it's apparent from early on in film that Michael Crawford's character, bit of a Burke, but charmingly naive, you might say. He's got this sort of childlike excitability about him, like an over-exuberant puppy.
Look what you do for a living. Huh? CIA? Huh? Cloak and dagger, secret missions, parachuting behind enemy lines, memorizing code words. Oh, that has to be the greatest, Harry.
Not dissimilar, you could argue, from Frank Spencer. He had a childlike naivety to him and all, didn't he? I mean, nowadays, he'd probably be diagnosed on some sort of behavioural spectrum, wouldn't he? He'd be on a spectrum or something, wouldn't he? But back in the 70s, we didn't know how about that, really, did we? Yeah, he'd have slipped through the net, like loads of kids would have done. But in the case of Frank Spencer, you know, you didn't know he were on a spectrum, you just thought he were a pillock. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to talk about Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. Back to Condorman. Now, as we've seen, Michael Crawford's mate works for the CIA, albeit doing a desk job, he doesn't do any of the spy stuff. And for some inexplicable reason, a meeting has been set up with a Russian agent, and the Russians have specified that they want a civilian, not a spy, to do the meeting. God knows why. As far as I can make out, the only reason why is that there won't be a film without this plot device. But there you go.
Have you recruited the civilian?
Yeah, that's where you come in. Just pick someone suitable.
Now, of course, we're the audience. We're already ahead of the game here, aren't we? We know it's coming. Who on earth could the CIA recruit as a civilian to attend this meeting? Yeah, he's loving it. An over-exuberant puppy.
Oh, I like that. I like it.
And then, once he's got to Turkey, and he sees that the Russian agent is the glamorous Barbara Carrera, he's like a dog with two dicks then, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, for some reason, Barbara Carrera seems very taken with him and gets won over by his Condorman alter ego persona, despite the fact that he's blatantly a complete Burke. I mean, I'm not sure as an audience what we're supposed to think of this woman, because presumably she's supposed to be a highly intelligent Russian spy. And despite him stumbling around like a completely inept oaf, she seems very taken by this Woody Wilkins. So, presumably she must be a complete moron. And we saw that in Some Mothers Do Have 'Em and all, didn't we? It weren't clear why Betty was still with Frank Spencer. Every week he were a one-man wrecking ball, leaving a trail of destruction behind him. You know, as he smashed a perfectly good house to pieces or something like that. But she stuck with him, didn't she? But she seemed quite intelligent. It weren't clear why she was still with him, other than because the script says she was. Anyway, as I say, not talking about Some Mothers Do Have 'Em today, no. No, because in Condorman, Barbara Carrera's character is so taken with Woody Wilkins that when she plans to defect, she insists that Woody Wilkins is the operative who acts as a liaison for a defection. And this sets up a game of cat and mouse around Europe. as Michael Crawford and Carrera try to escape the clutches of the KGB baddie, played by Oliver Reed. He's very good in this, Oliver Reed, imposing and threatening. I think this was made in the 80s, and by the 80s, Oliver Reed, he'd become renowned for being a little bit unreliable, hadn't he?
Charlie, I can't believe you have a tattoo in a very unusual place.
Yes, on my cock.
Yeah, but he's good in this. Just the right level of menacing for what essentially is a Walt Disney family comedy film. You wouldn't want him snipping off Condorman's pinky with a pair of pliers, for example, would you? No. Too much. And there's his henchman, who's this bloke with jet black hair and a marble for an eyeball. It reminded me of that electronic pop bloke, Gary Newman. In my car, in my car. Yeah, he loves his cars, doesn't he, Gary Newman? But yeah, this bloke reminded me so much of him, I couldn't see him and not think of Gary Newman. And he rode Woody Wilkins continues to act like an absolute bird. Yeah, just a clumsy oaf. Now, we saw that with Christopher Reeve's portrayal of Clark Kent in Superman, didn't we? He were a clumsy oaf. He was brilliant, Christopher Reeve. I thought he was great as Superman. But the difference were that Clark Kent ain't the superhero, is he? He's the alter ego. He was just putting on a facade of being a bumbling dickhead. But Condorman, Woody Wilson, he is a dickhead. Look at that. He just ain't got a clue what he's doing, has he? Yeah, everywhere he goes, he ends up wrecking the joint. Exactly the same as Frank Spencer. Yeah, every week, Frank could turn up to start a new job or have a driving lesson or something like that. And his mentor, the authority figure, he'd end up having a nervous breakdown, tearing his hair out. I always felt sorry for those blokes, because, they're just trying to do the job. They're perfectly decent chaps, but they get so exasperated trying to deal with this moron Frank Spencer. They just end up getting livid with him. I mean, he really is an absolute buffoon. I mean, he would never pass his mandatory health and safety training, would he? Anyway, as I say, not talking about some others who haven't today. No. Now, somehow, Woody Wilson manages to convince the CIA to seemingly spend their entire annual technology budget on him, because they produce all these Condorman gadgets. Yeah, he's got this snazzy car that enables him to outrun all the baddies, and he even manages to outrun Gary Newman. And we all know how much he likes his cars, don't we? Loves his cars, he does. They make him a set of Condorman wings that actually work. And he gets a disguise that involves him dressing up as an Arab. He looks like he's got the shoe polish on there, doesn't he? I don't think you could do that these days, could you? I think that's probably frowned upon, isn't it? And he also gets this snazzy motorboat with this impressive laser gun on the back of it. And this enables him to kill a load of the baddies. He doesn't seem to have any problem with murdering the bandits. Despite the fact he's just a cartoonist, he seems quite happy with killing people. And just as you think Oliver Reed and Gary Newman are going to catch him at the end, he gets winched to safety. Oh, bad luck for Gary Newman. Not very good in a boat, is he? No, should have stuck to his cars. Righty-ho, on to Ray's ratings. Well, I'd never heard of this film. And once I read the synopsis, I thought, bloody hell, this sounds like an absolute pile of shite. So I were only expecting a 1-star film. And maybe it's because my expectations were so low, I don't know. But I found myself thoroughly enjoying it. I was thoroughly entertained. The story rattles along at a quick pace, you don't get bored. Oliver Reed's good in it. There's a few stunts and set pieces and things. And Michael Crawford, he wins you over, doesn't he? I don't know how he does it. Because everything about him is an absolute pillock. But, he's obviously good-hearted. You can see he's good-hearted. He's just a positive character, there's no keeping him down. It's obviously what attracts Barbara Carrera to it. And, of course, Betty. So I'm rating Condorman a 3-star, 1-star film. I suppose the only thing that I was disappointed about is that I would have liked to see him do more stunts. Because he's very good at doing the stunts. It's Michael Crawford. Yeah, I mean, unless my eyes are deceiving me, that definitely ain't him doing that stunt. Yeah, some of the things he used to do, some others do have them. Unbelievable, the stunts. Never mind Tom Cruise. Back in the 70s, before health and safety were invented, Michael Crawford was the bloke putting his body on the line in the name of entertainment. Forget Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible films. Yes, those stunts are incredible, they're superb. I mean, that is unquestionably a spectacular chopper shot, isn't it? But as good as it is, Michael Crawford were there first, weren't he? Who could forget this stunt? Yeah, Michael Crawford swinging off somebody's chopper. Spectacular. And I'm not talking about some others do have them today. No. Alright, I did. Quite a lot. Well, hope you enjoyed Condorman this week, Rayvers. And if you did, poke the like button, give it a good poking for me. Share our reviews with your mates, and make sure you subscribe if you ain't already a subscriber. Much appreciated. Especially there's lots of folk retweeting and sharing my stuff, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you to everybody who does that. Now I will be back with another review very soon. But just a reminder, come and join me on a Sunday night for race night. 7 o'clock every Sunday. I'll pop a link in the description below. It'll be lovely to see you there. Anyway, I will see you lot next time. Okeydoo!